Hello folks, I have another video here for you today. It's been a little while since we last chatted. Okay, so one thing I did observe recently is that it's been 8 years since I've been making videos on YouTube. Yeah, I started making videos back in mid-January of 2018. So yeah, it's been 8 years now. So yeah, it's been quite the journey. I put out quite a lot of content and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about punk rock. Yeah, I've never made a video about punk rock before. I'm sure I have talked about punk rock in some of my videos, but yeah, first video that I've ever made about punk rock. And so yeah, obviously I'm not the biggest fan of punk rock, but in recent months I've definitely gotten more into it, and I've purchased a bunch of different punk albums, been listening to some different punk albums online as well. So yeah, it's something I've definitely gotten into more as of recently. Uh, well, I started listening to punk actually when I was a teenager. I had some friends in high school, they were into punk, and so they kind of turned me on to that kind of music. And so, yeah, I was listening to some of the punk bands back then, like Bad Religion. I'm still a big fan of Bad Religion. I got into them when I was around 16 and was listening to some other bands around that time as well, like No Effects, The Casualties, Anti-Flag, that kind of stuff. I was into those bands and was enjoying it to some extent, but I was definitely more of a metal guy, and obviously still am. I mean, I'm primarily into, like hard rock, grunge, new metal, black metal, obviously, doom metal, all that kind of stuff. Melodic death metal I really enjoy as well. But yeah, I can appreciate some punk as well. Also, I did play in a punk band when I was a teenager, also, when I was around 16, 17. Those same friends who had turned me on to punk, a couple of them I was playing in a band with. We played a couple of shows together, never released any music together. They went on and actually continued to play quite a few shows, in fact, over quite a number of years. So they had a bit of success with that band, and they had some lineup changes as well. But yeah, I guess I just wasn't really into it. Punk wasn't really my thing at the time, and I was the drummer, and my drumming skills weren't necessarily that great at that time either. And yeah, just punk really wasn't my thing. I was just getting really, really heavily into metal, and yeah, that's kind of where I was going. So I just didn't really feel comfortable, continuing with this punk band, and I wasn't really getting on along that well with the guys either. They weren't really the kind of people that I necessarily want to hang around with that much. I got along with them to some extent, but they just weren't really the kind of people that I was really wanting to be friends with necessarily. But things happen. That's life. But of course, I would go on to create my own music. A few years after that, and obviously, I'm still making my own music. But yeah, so in recent months, around September, I guess, of last year, so back in 2025, September, I just suddenly had this urge to start listening to punk rock. So I was checking out some different bands like Ramones, Misfits, and Casualties, and listening to some more of their stuff. And just checking out some different bands online. And yeah, just listening to Bad Religion. I've always enjoyed Bad Religion throughout the years. They've always been one of those punk bands that I've always sort of enjoyed. I've had a number of their albums throughout the years. I've have actually quite a few of their albums, and so I've enjoyed them quite a bit throughout the years, as well as some other punk bands. But I've never really listened to punk that much, obviously, throughout the years. Just kind of here and there, I would listen to some punk. The Offspring is another band I like, another punk band I like. Obviously, they're pretty, more of a commercial type of punk band. But yeah, so I just started purchasing a bunch of punk albums in recent months. Learned some punk songs on guitar as well. Like I learned a couple of Ramones songs, some Misfits songs. So yeah, those were enjoyable. And so yeah, I definitely gotten into more punk. And yeah, it's something I definitely enjoy more now. So I probably will continue to listen to punk, explore different bands, and kind of get a little bit more deeply into it. But so anyhow, I got a bunch of punk albums here. These are the ones I purchased in recent months. I'm going to show you these. All right, so the first one here, this is a classic, um, a very essential punk album. Every punk rocker, I'm sure, owns this album, and even people who aren't into punk own this album as well. This is, of course, Nevermind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols. This came out in, I believe, October of 1977. Um, One of the best albums ever released, according to many sources. Of course, you have so many great songs on here, like Anarchy in the UK, God Save the Queen, Holidays in the Sun. Those, I believe, were the singles that they released from this album. But yeah, excellent album throughout. This band formed, I believe, in 1975, British band. They didn't last that long, though. They split up in 1978, so they split up not long after the release of this album. And Sid Vicious, who was the bass player of this on this album here, he passed away in, I believe, I want to say February of 1979, and he died of a drug overdose. But the other members of the band would go on to form other bands as well and have quite a bit of success there as well. But this was, of course, the only album they released. Like I said, considered by many sources to be one of the best punk albums, but also just one of the best albums ever released as well. And yeah, I do enjoy this one quite a bit. I've been wanting this album for many, many years. In fact, finally decided to purchase it. I actually purchased this album on vinyl many, many years ago. I purchased this when I was about 17. So that's going back about 22 years ago. I purchased this from a record store here in Winnipeg called Into the Music. I was going through their sort of newly acquired albums that they had at the time. They had like a section of their new albums that they had received, and so I was going through that, and I noticed that this album was there. I was like, all right, cool. I was with a friend of mine at the time. He was really big into punk, and I was starting to get a little bit more into punk at that time as well. So I just snagged it. I think it was like $15 or something like that. And he was a little bit pissed off at me about purchasing it because I think he wanted to buy it. I don't know exactly, but he was a friend of mine at that time, and whatever. Anyhow, I was happy with the purchase and still happy to have this in my collection. I'm not sure if this is an original, but yeah, it's a pretty old album, that's for sure. But anyhow, yeah, Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks, classic album, must own for any punk rocker, and I would say just anybody who's into like rock music in general. All right. Bad Religion with No Substance. This came out in 1998. So I have a bunch of other Bad Religion albums, and was just kind of missing this one in my collection. And yeah, so many people consider this to be one of their weaker albums. It has sort of like mixed reviews. Some people really don't like it, other people are fine with it. Me personally, I've listened to it a little bit, not a whole lot, but so far I'm kind of so-so with it. I'll have to listen to it more to really get a good opinion of it, but so far there are some songs I've enjoyed. There are some songs that are pretty catchy, but yeah, maybe not their best album. I mean, I certainly don't see myself enjoying this album as much as some of their other albums that I enjoy. I really like The Gray Race and New America. I like that album as well quite a bit. But yeah, this is definitely considered to be one of the sort of like lower points in their career. This is their 10th album. Of course, Bad Religion, still around. They've been around since 1980. They're from Los Angeles, California. They have quite a few albums out. I don't even know how many albums they have out, but a lot. And so they're definitely one of those classic punk bands. And yeah, great band. Really do enjoy their stuff quite a bit. I mean, their songs are just so catchy and melodic, and yeah, just very just well written music with just lots of energy and great riffs and nice vocal harmonies. Yeah, great stuff. And so yeah, I got this one in my collection. That is No Substance by Bad Religion. We have some of my coffee here. It's been really cold here lately. It's been snowing a lot. I work this evening and I do a lot of driving for work, and yeah, it was really sketchy on the roads. I actually had to pull over at one particular point, and lots of blowing snow, but managed to get home safely. Still snowing quite a bit, so I'll have to do a lot of snow shoveling tomorrow. All right, anyhow, back to the albums here. I got Devil Ultrasonic Dream by Teen Mortgage. This album came out in 2025, so last year. Um, and yeah, so this is a band I've gotten into recently. I have an interesting story about this band. So back in November, early November of last year, so about, let's say about 2.5 months ago approximately. Yeah, about 2.5 months ago. I was invited by a friend of mine and to go see them perform live. They perform live here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, at a small venue. Um, and yeah, I knew nothing about this band, so when they had come up on stage there, I was kind of right in the front there, kind of on the side somewhat. I had my couple of friends there with me. I had a bunch of drinks ready, so I was feeling good. I was feeling pretty, loosened up and had a good buzz going. And the two members of the band come out. I didn't even know they were a two-member band, and the drummer was just this big guy. You can tell he works out quite a bit. And then they started performing their songs. I was like, wow, this is really good. Just very high energy songs, catchy, lots of great riffs. Like the guitarist of the band, great guitarist actually. His style is really good. His riffs are really catchy. The drumming is just solid as well. The vocals are great. Just a two-piece band, but they sound really, really good. And so I got into them, of course, after that show. And so they only have this one full-length album out, and they also have an EP out as well that they released prior to this one. The EP is really, really good. I actually like the EP better than the full-length album. But the full-length album, this one right here, it's pretty good. I mean, it's full of just high energy, fun songs, catchy, great riffs. Production is pretty good. And yeah, really good stuff. This band is out of, I think they are out of Washington. I think that's where they are from. They formed back in 2017. Their vocalist guitarist is originally from Britain, and then their drummer is an American. So yeah, but they're touring quite a bit. I've noticed recently that they're performing all kinds of different shows. So yeah, they're a hard-working band, that's for sure. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. Team Mortgage, if you're not familiar with them, definitely give this band a listen. I think you'll enjoy them. Okay, so that's Devil Ultrasonic Dream by Team Mortgage. All right, another classic punk band here. This is Legacy of Brutality by Misfits. This is a compilation album. This came out in 1985. Contains songs that they would have recorded mostly back in like 1978, I believe, and also contains some of the songs that they would have recorded later as well. But yeah, mostly their earlier stuff on here. Yeah, it's really good. Like Misfits are a band that I've been really wanting to get into for many, many years. Like I've been familiar with some of their stuff for quite a number of years. Of course, Metallica had covered some of their songs on the Garage Inc. album, so I remember enjoying those. And I've listened to some of their other music throughout the years, and it kind of took me a while to really get into their music and really appreciate it. But yeah, now that I've really got into the music, it's really, really good. Like just fun stuff, catchy. It's the production is definitely more kind of lo-fi sounding for the most part, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I think it sounds really good, the production, it's just kind of raw sounding and a bit more primitive sounding, but it's good. Like the riffs are good, like yeah, everything's good. And Dan Sega's vocals on this are just fantastic. Just fun music. They're oftentimes referred to as being like a horror punk type of band, and yeah, I've just gotten so much more into this band. I mean, and I just really enjoy them. Lots of great songs in here as well, like Static Age, love that one. Hyper Moments, fucking great song there. Where Eagles Dare, yeah, I just fucking love blasting that one. Halloween, I covered that one on guitar actually, great tune. But yeah, this is a good compilation. Okay, I actually got this from sort of like a friend of a friend. It's actually it's a used copy. It's actually kind of in rough condition, but it's fairly scratched up. I cleaned it up, but it's still fairly scratched. But it plays perfectly well. Like it doesn't skip whatsoever. So I've been blasting this one quite a bit recently. But yeah, definitely happy to have this one in my collection. And yeah, that's Legacy Brutality by the Misfits. Okay. Another Misfits album. This is entitled Collection 1. This came out in 1986. I think it came out in July of 1986, if I'm correct. Yeah, so this is just another compilation album. Contains mostly songs from their first two full-length albums, Walk Among Us and Earth AD. And also contains songs from the Legacy Brutality compilation, which I just talked about. So there's quite a few songs on here. Lots of great songs, in fact, like Teenagers from Mars. I love that one. Um, Die Die My Darling, Green Hell. I mean, there's just so many cool tunes on here. Uh, yeah, Hollywood Babylon. Yeah, great, great compilation. Great album to get into if you're just starting to get into Misfits. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it contains songs from their first two full-length albums, which I would still like to get. I'd like to get those first two full-length albums of theirs, but been enjoying this one in the meantime. But yeah, such a great band, such a classic punk band that I should have gotten to earlier, but you know, thankfully I've been getting into them now. Would like to cover some more of their songs on guitar as well. They're just fun songs to play. But yeah, great band. I really enjoy their stuff so much. Okay, so that is Misfits with Collection 1. They did release a Collection 2 as well, I think sometime in the mid 1990s, I want to say, sometime around there. Like to get that one as well. But yeah, happy with this one for now. Okay, so Misfits with Collection 1. One last Misfits album here. Let me get some more coffee here. Alrighty. Alright, another Misfits album. We got Famous Monsters by Misfits. Really enjoy this one a lot. Like some of my favorite Misfits songs are on this album. Like Scream is just phenomenal. Um, I covered that one as well. Saturday Night, I love that song. I listen to that song so much. I covered that song on guitar as well. But yeah, this entire album is just solid throughout. So this is like a different era of the band. This is sort of like what people would consider to be like the Michael Graves era. They had a different drummer on this album as well. I think his name was Dr. Chud. I think Dr. Chud played drums on this album, if I'm correct. But yeah, Michael Graves was the vocalist on this album. He did another album of theirs as well prior to this. So this is the second album that he did with this band. And then he left sometime after the release of this album. I think around 2000 or 2001 or something like that. He left the band. And but yeah, he was a great vocalist for this band. Really enjoy his vocals a lot. And yeah, the songs on this album are just so catchy. Production is great. It's definitely a little more modern sounding. Doyle's riffs are just phenomenal. And yeah, just lots of great tunes here. Really do enjoy this era of the Misfits quite a bit. Yeah, happy to have this in my collection. Purchased this one online. I think I bought this off of Amazon. Yeah, really good. Love that cover as well. Really cool cover. All right, so yeah, that is Famous Monsters by the Misfits. All right, I have another classic band here, classic punk band. This is Ramones with their self-titled album. This came out in 1976. Very legendary album. Every punk rocker, I'm sure, owns this album, has this album in their collection. Considered by many sources to be one of the greatest punk albums and just one of the greatest albums ever released as well. Ramones, they formed back in 1974. They are from New York. They were around for quite a number of years. I think they split up around 1996, if I'm correct, and then all the original members have passed away since. They all passed away back in like the 2000s. Um, but yeah, great album right here. I mean, you have so many legendary Ramones songs like Blitzkrieg Bop. I mean, that's such a popular song. Beat on the Brat. I learned that on the guitar as well. Blitzkrieg Bop. I learned that one also on the guitar. Judy's a Punk. I Want to Be Your Boyfriend. You know, just so many phenomenal songs on this album. Love the production as well. Great guitar playing. Yeah, I mean, this album will go on to influence so many other punk bands and metal bands as well. You know, James Hetfield has cited the guitar playing on the Ramones to be a big influence upon him. So yeah, great stuff. And happy to have this in my collection. I think I bought this off of Amazon as well. And yeah, great album. What more can I say? It's a very classic punk album, considered to be one of the earliest punk albums. Or I mean, you could always date punk back a little bit further. I mean, you could say bands like Television, NC5, or even the Stooges are sometimes considered like early punk, but this is definitely considered to be sort of a pivotal moment in punk rock history. This one right here. Okay, so that is the Ramones with their self-titled release. Another Ramones album, Ramones with Rocket to Russia. Love this album so much. This is their third full-length album, and I've listened to this one a lot. I mean, this is not only my favorite album from Ramones, but it's also just one of my favorite albums in general. I really like to get this one on vinyl also. I mean, this album is just phenomenal from start to finish. Like Cretin Hop, the first song on this album, it's just so fast and energetic. I mean, you got Rockaway Beach, Locket Love, She Is a Punk Rocker, We're a Happy Family, Teenage Lobotomy, Surfing Bird, that's a funny one. There's some humor on these songs as well, but they're just such catchy songs, great riffing, great vocals, excellent, just all around great stuff here, great songwriting, just so catchy. And yeah, just such a legendary album as well. Love that cover, such an iconic cover right there. Yeah, Ramones. I really do enjoy their music. A band that I overlooked for so many years. I never really cared for them throughout the years for whatever reason, but now I really have come to appreciate them so much. And this album is just so fucking incredible from start to finish. I mean, happy to have this in my collection. I think I bought this at Sunrise Records. It's this little shitty a record chain store here in Canada. It's a crappy store, but they got a bit of selection there, and they got a bit of a punk section, so I bought this one there. I mean, it's a shitty store, but it's pretty much all we have here in Canada, I suppose. I mean, specifically out here in Manitoba, Winnipeg. Winnipeg doesn't really have much as far as record stores are concerned, but yeah, Sunrise Records. They took over because HMV was the big chain store many years ago, and then they went out of business. HMV was actually pretty decent in its prime. I remember going there quite a bit when I was like a teenager, even throughout my 20s. I enjoyed that store, but then they just kind of started going downhill. They just started downsizing, and then they closed doors, but they were a good store in their prime. I remember them having a pretty good metal section and even a good punk section as well. But whatever happened there, I'm not entirely sure, but they closed their doors. And then now we have Sunrise Records, which is just, yeah, it's pretty shitty to be honest. But anyhow, that's my little story there. But yeah, Ramones, Rocket to Russia, phenomenal album. Another Ramones album here, Road to Ruin. I think this one came out in 1978. Bit of a lineup change here. They changed drummers. Their original drummer, Tommy Ramone, quit prior to this album. Then they got a new drummer, Marky Ramone. And but yeah, still the same lineup uh, with regards to the other members like Johnny and Dee Dee and Joey, of course. This one's a little bit different. I don't know. I haven't been able to really get into this album that much. I mean, there's some pretty legendary songs on here, like uh, I Just Want to Have Something to Do. There's that one, and then I Want to Be Sedated. That's obviously a very popular one. So there are some well-known songs in here. They just kind of went into a different direction here. Started to incorporate some other elements, and I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what to think yet. It's good, but I don't know. I just don't know if I'll really be able to get into this one that much, especially compared to the other two albums I just talked about. But still a pretty legendary album. A lot of people enjoy this album quite a bit. But yeah, still worth having. And yeah, I'm still happy to have it in my collection. I think I purchased this one off Amazon as well. But yeah, I'm still happy to have it in my collection, and I'll probably continue to listen to it, and maybe I'll get into it more. Okay, so that is Road to Ruin by Ramones. And lastly on my collection is another Ramones one. This is their greatest hits. This one came out in I think this album came out in 2006, and yeah, it has 20 songs on it, and mostly songs from their earlier albums, which is good. But yeah, yeah, lots of good songs in here. I mean, lots of songs from the albums I just mentioned. So yeah, I just decided to get this one as well. I mean, I've been wanting to get into Ramones more, so just decided to get a greatest hits as well. So yeah, happy to have this one also. I mean, I got it for a fairly decent price off of Amazon, so yeah, decided, well, may as well add this one to my collection. Yeah, I'm happy to have it. Uh, yeah, I've been listening to it a fair bit recently, actually, as well. So yeah, that's those are my punk albums I purchased recently. So yeah, definitely been getting more into punk. It's something I'll continue to listen to more. I'm always kind of expanding a little bit more, and been enjoying, as of lately, especially, just really kind of been enjoying a lot of the albums I grew up listening to, albums I listened to a lot throughout my 20s, and yeah, it's um, it's kind of what I've been focusing a little bit more on. I'm almost 40, so I'm not really as interested in maybe listening to as much new music now as I used to be. And but yeah, I'm still open to other stuff, and especially other styles of music, I suppose. Like for example, when it comes to like black metal, I've listened to so much black metal throughout the years. It's kind of like whenever I hear some new black metal stuff, it's kind of like doesn't really excite me as much maybe, even though I do enjoy black metal a lot, of course. But it's kind of hard to get into some of the newer bands, to be honest, especially when I've been into it for so long. But yeah, it's 'cause it's part of growing older, I suppose. It's pretty common. But like I said, I'm definitely open to still listening to some other kinds of music, and you know, always open to new stuff. And that's just kind of the situation I've been in my life now, especially that I've been getting a little bit older. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And so otherwise, I've been doing okay. I've been working really, really hard on my album. I've just been kind of finishing the recordings on it. Been doing the vocals now, so getting that done. I'd say I'm about like 95% done now. And I'm going to be starting the mixing of the album very soon. In fact, this weekend, it looks like I'll be going over to somebody's house, and there's somebody I've hired to mix this album for me. I've worked with him previously, so I'm going to get him to mix and master this album. So it's going to be a lengthy process there. It's going to take a number of months, most likely. But hopefully I get the album out sometime in the spring, early summer, something like that. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great, great fucking album. Like I've worked so hard on this album and put so much of my energy into it, and I'm really looking forward to the future of my music. And yeah, I'm just going to continue with it and just continue to work hard on it, regardless of what happens. I'm just so passionate about making music, and especially with this new band of mine, Eternal Forest. It's yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future of this band and what I do with it. And I have some pretty significant goals I'm pursuing currently with this band, and I will reveal more of that within the future. But yeah, just wanting to really get this album done. And so far, it's coming along really well. The recordings, like I said, are just almost done. I'm going to start the mixing soon. I got the cover design, got some other artwork design as well. So things are coming together quite well. And yeah, just going to continue working really, really hard on it, and looking forward to it. So yeah, that's pretty much my current situation. Otherwise, things are going well, for the most part. We're working out a lot at the gym, in getting more fit, just eating healthier as well, and been working at my job steady, keeping busy at home. So things are going well, you know, and yeah, that's pretty much my situation right now. So yeah, if you have some suggestions for videos, I'm always open to some new ideas and anything, leave some comments, let me know what's happening, let me know what's going on, let me know what you think. Also, like I said, I've been doing these videos for many, many years, 8 years now, and it'd be nice to have some more subscribers. I don't want to be one of those people that complains that they don't have, a whole lot of subscribers. I know people that are like that. They bitch and complain that they don't have a whole lot of subscribers or that their views are low. It's like, it's really fucking irritating when I hear people complain about stuff like that. So I don't want to be one of those people, but it would still be appreciative if I could get some more subscribers. I'd really like to get to 500 at least. I feel like I've been making videos for, like I said, 8 years now, and it'd be nice to have some more of a following, some more recognition. I feel like I've been getting quite a bit better at these videos as well, and it'd be nice to have more of a community of people. And so yeah, if you can, if you don't subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. I really appreciate it so much. Give me a thumbs up. Any way you can support me is much appreciated. I really do enjoy making these videos, and like I said, I just definitely would like to, have a bit more of a community going. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think I'm going to end it for this video now. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And I want to say thanks to all the people who watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. I really, truly appreciate it so much. Take care, my friends. Cheers.